for the second part, so I have to kind of combine them together maybe later on. Um, I see somebody join as a mobile phone. Can you please tell me who's that? You're unmuted. Can you please? Hello? Hello? Can you please tell me the whoever don't have the name there?
Marshad, assalamu alaikum.
Oh, welcome from brother Azad. It's you. Okay.
Sorry, I'm in the outside and listening mode today.
That is fine. That's fine. Not a problem because yeah, earlier I saw you. I thought you were not Muslim. So that's okay. Yeah, I got dropped out. Like I had electric surge. I think somehow I just blink and everything just collapsed. So for a second, and everything.
I'm listening, you guys.
Okay,
But I'm in
great.
listening
Not a
mode today.
problem. Yeah, if you want, brother Azad, go ahead. I mean, if you want to introduce yourself, or I mean, if do you think that you can do it from there, like outside, or is that okay?
Yeah, I'm in outside.
But do you think you can do an introduction yourself or no?
Uh, we'll do tomorrow, inshallah.
Okay, okay, inshallah, not a problem. Yeah,
Here is
so
maybe
yeah, that is fine.
lot of people surrounding me.
Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine, not a problem. Yeah. Yes. So we have the brother Alam. If you all, I don't know, brother Shajib is not. He's out working. Brother Shajib, when you get home, please take a look at the document that brother Alam shared with you all, and also, I think he's working on another document for SDLC, and DLC. So he'll also give those documents to you, so you can kind of prepare your thought what you have done and what kind of answers, questions you might expect from the recruiters and what to answer. So and there's a document that Brother Alam shared actually earlier today. I'm trying to pull that up. See what is there. The download. Okay, there's I think Selenium interview questions, right? So he shared with you all. So okay, I see it here. Okay, the Selenium questions that I am looking at actually the first question says what is Selenium and what it is composed of. So there's a also answer there and kind of explaining about the WebDriver, RC, Selenium ID, WebDriver, and RC, and also Selenium Grid. So that's different function of each one. So these are the one. Okay. So yeah, looking at it like you can review these. All of you pull out this document and review it, and try to memorize all those answers, and also understand, make sure that what you're saying or what you have done. If you haven't
Brother,
done
I
any of it.
cannot see your screen.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm on a wrong screen. Okay. Okay. Sorry. I thought maybe I'm sharing the other one. That's okay. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, this is the document actually Brother Alam shared with you guys, with everyone, and these are the questions and answers there. So how will you find an element using Selenium? So this is the ID, name, tag, attribute, CSS, or link tags, or partial link tags, or XPath, etc. So these are the way that you can identify uh, the object from object using Selenium. So, list out list out test types that are supposed to supported by Selenium. So regression, functional, and regressional. Now, have you guys ever done automation like load testing with the Selenium? Question to all.
No.
Do you think can it be done?
Automation load testing?
Do you think can it be done? Can you do a load testing with the Selenium?
No, I don't have any idea about that.
Right.
Automation.
No, because
Automation.
no,
Selenium load
right,
testing.
right. Because it is not designed for. But if somebody wanted, like, if somebody asks questions just for to know your knowledge about it, right? You can say like, no, this is a tool for actually a big functional and regular testing. But if somebody wanted to have multiple servers and deploy multiple the servers, and from those servers is the loading. You can do a small volume, like amount of load. You can simulate users from the multiple servers, but it's a lot of effort and a lot of configuration. So this tool is not designed for it. Simply you can say it, but yeah, you can, if you put effort to it, you can do with a minimum load, but you cannot do like a bigger load. So I mean, just for your knowledge, like any tools can be used. Like if you're smart enough now, virtual machine now gives you the opportunity, or gives you the a pathway to kind of go out and do a small kind of generate small kind of load. Like if you want to do 10, 15, 20, or maybe 100, you can simulate those by virtual machine. Right? You can launch virtual machine on a different server, and from there you can just launch it and run it. But this tool is not. That's why now I was just looking at the document right here. It is for the functional and regressional testing. So basically, this tool is like this. But
functional regression, sanity, and smoke testing we can do from with the Selenium WebDriver. But I don't have don't have any idea for load testing. We can use Selenium. I don't know.
Right. You cannot use the tool, but if you configure, like if you have multiple Selenium installed on a multiple machine, right, you can do small volume stuff. But it's not a tool for the load test. That's why I asked the question. You need to be strong on your opinion and your case that this tool is for functional regression testing. You can do sanity and smoke testing or ad hoc testing. Those are kind of testing. But the main function and regression is the key. Those are the tools that you can run. That's fine. But load testing is a different monster. It's totally different than any of the functional regression or smoke test or ad hoc testing or sanity testing. So this is totally different. That's why your voice has to be strong. Your opinion has to be strong on that. Not that this is a tool for.
So by using Selenium WebDriver, we can do like I have another idea, API testing, like REST assured we are using for in Selenium WebDriver.
I mean,
for API testing, but load testing, there is any the third parties are have or not? I don't have idea, so we need to look at it. So for load testing, whatever I know, JMeter and load runner, yeah, we are using JMeter and load runner.
JMeter actually for volume testing, you cannot really do a whole lot of load testing. It's like a more iterative.
So for load testing, any kind of jar file need to be integrated. I don't know, so need to check out. So that is interview purpose. Yeah, that is.
You cannot use that. I just asked you guys, like I wanted to know what you know about the Selenium. So I'm asking question about the Selenium, right? So I said, can you do that? Then you have to be strong enough to say no. It cannot be, but
no, I got it.
Right. If anybody tries it with setting up a multiple machines, virtual machines and stuff, you might be able to. Then you say you might be able to do it, but we haven't done it, and this is not the design for it. You need to be strong on your opinion, right? What you say, like you say, show them that, hey, I know about this tool, right? So your voice basically when you're saying, hey, basically this is for this, and I know about this. So that is that tells them that this guy, yes, he is genuine and he knows that what he does. So this is just a question, throwing at you. It will not be those kind of questions, but sometimes might just come across. Maybe the people don't know, right? A lot of people, a lot of recruiters or the interviewers, they may not have idea about the selenium. They might heard of someone saying that yeah, load testing can be done, and they probably looking for someone that can do the load testing on that. But your voice has to be strong on that. That this is not the tool for the load testing.
I got
Okay,
it. Thank you, Murshid bhai.
sure, not a problem. Okay, for post,
Okay, Murshid bhai, I have one
yes,
question.
sure.
What about a stress test?
Stress test is done by also load runner performance center.
That one also load
Or,
runner, right?
yeah, load runner performance center, or also there is another tool. I forget the name of it. Name can I remember now? Hold on, 1 second. It's Swasta. Swasta is another tool that can be utilized for the load stress testing. Swasta, performance center, or load runner. Performance center, load runner is just two different configurations. It's pretty much the same tool. The performance center is like web-based, and load runner is like more like a client-based tool. It resides on a client. So it can be deployed on the server, but it cannot be accessed by the web browser. Only you have to log in to the local server and access the tool. But Performance Center you can access from anywhere. Like it can reside on a web application server, and you can access from anywhere in the world as long as you have internet service or access given to any other network. So these are the difference between the load runner and Performance Center. But yeah, the stress testing, load testing, performance testing, endurance testing, those are done by the load runner, performance center, and also Swasta is one of the tools that I know of. Also, I think I got another tool name. I think they were trying to get their tool to work on the load and performance testing too. So, but yeah, these are the things that I know of and one known. Yes, yes.
I have one question, that is, it told ad hoc testing. So can you explain a little bit about ad hoc testing and what is different between, because we have to do in automation, so sanity and smoke testing. So what is between sanity and smoke testing, and what is ad hoc testing?
Okay, the sanity testing.
Brother, I'm still not done yet. So I have also link question about the stress test. When we do it, the stress test, when actually we do it?
Okay, stress testing it can be done any point of time to the stress out the system. So one system is configured, like if it's in any of the test isolated environment, test environment that configured to production, mimic to the production environment or intended production environment. So you just load up all users at the same time without any of the ramp up time. Like you were not given any time to log in. So it's like all of a sudden everybody logging in, just like what happened on healthcare.gov, just like what happened in the Canadian government side when our election night result came out. So same thing what happened, everybody jumped in at the same time and trying to look for the shelter in Canada. And also other people, when the healthcare.gov was deployed and a deadline came in, and the people logged in at the same time. So they really stressed the system out, and that what kind of broke the entire system, brought it down. So a stress test is like after system fully configured, like whenever configuration is done, application is deployed, you can do stress testing. And that is like you are just logging everybody in at the same time. So you can have 1,000 users, 5,000, depending on how many users, intended users for the system. So you can have all users log in at the same time, so you see that how much of the system can take, how much of a load at the same time they can take. It's not the total load is just a at a time load. It's just like a one time, just how electric goes, like one goes out and comes in, like everything, all lights are on. So that's how it is. Like when everybody logs in, make sure the how system reacts to it, whether it's just breaking anywhere or if there's any failure. So then that's when you do the test testing. And as far as Brother Shagib's question, if you differentiate between the sanity testing, smoke testing, and ad hoc testing, so these are the different name of the testing, and they're done like a slightly different. Sanity testing is done for the environment verification, basically, or any of the tools that you have installed. Like for your case, as an asset engineer, the most of the time you perform sanity testing. When do you perform that? After you configure your tool. When you configure your tool, like your jar files and everything, you just run a test, just a small test of running it and seeing, make sure that all the jar files are correctly configured. Then you run a script like, see that script is working fine. So that's called a sanity testing. Or if you're installing any tools, or maybe if you have like deployed application to app server, right? And right after deploying it, you log in and see, okay, it's working, log in. It's just a basic testing saying that the connectivity is there, application looks fine, and I can log in, I can see the login page, those kinds of, that called sanity testing, just kind of validating, verifying and validating the system connectivity or configuration. Most of the time it's a sanity testing. For smoke testing is like basically there is no requirement for smoke testing, and there is no requirement for, there's no test cases for smoke testing. Like you don't have to write out a test case. You go out and kind of select an area of the application that could be more beneficial for your regression suite, or maybe running against something that you do on a regular basis. So you can just pick out an area of the application, the most used area, or some of the business process that you know of that would be beneficial for, if you run this test, that you can probably pick out most of the errors that might occur in that area. So that is what you're selecting based on your knowledge about the application and based on the area of the application. You just select a group of area and automate those to, or manually perform those called smoke testing. And for ad hoc testing,
Marshad bhai,
yeah.
Marshad bhai, before going to there, so one thing actually I need to make sure. So you told, because in the Selenium we have to make some test suite for regression testing, some test suite for sanity testing, smoke testing. Okay, so regression testing, okay, we understand, but sanity testing, whatever, as per your knowledge, whatever I understood, so that thing, since all of the configurations will be set up in the sanity based test suite, yeah.
Right. Like you can, like if you do sanity testing using Selenium, so when you configure your Selenium, that also testing that when your Selenium is working, make sure it's working. That's also called sanity testing. But for against the application, if you want to test sanity testing, so your would be like, okay, when application deployed or new code is deployed, right, to the app server, then whatever module that they have deployed, that make sure that you have a test suite you can run quickly, like to kind of verify that yes, connectivity is there. I can access my the Selenium goes out and try to ping the server, or try to launch the app, and it is there, comes back with yes, connectivity is there. So those kind of tests is like a sanity testing, like kind of verifying the environment and verifying the tools, or verifying the application is alive or it is working. That's called sanity testing.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Right.
So whatever I understood, yeah, we have some configuration in the base file, base class. So
Right.
those base class we are making some test suite for that's called a sanitary testing for configuration for connectivity. Yeah. So
Right.
in the XML base file over there, we just make the class, and those class depends on the base class and sub base class, and all of the configuration utility class will be come in the sanitary testing. So when I need to check my environment, that time I just I need to execute on the sanitary XML based test suite.
Right.
Is that
Right.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, that's also kind of verifying that whatever you deployed is working fine. Yes. So that there is like a more sanity testing. Yes. Either your
Thank you.
configuration change, con, either
Yeah,
the
thank you,
configuration changes you
Ramasuda.
select. Yeah, sure. You're either you have change on your jar file or this end on your Selenium side or on the application side. It could be either or, both ways.
How about smoke testing? Can you explain again?
The smoke testing.
Yeah. Smoke
Okay.
testing.
Yeah, the smoke testing is like there is no requirement needed for smoke testing, and there isn't any written document for the smoke testing. It's just a suite that you have to select, like off of an application. Like you can just go in if you know that application uh, that can break in that area. Like if there's some changes on the other application or the other area of the application, and if you think that this area like a login page or maybe most used area that can break. So you just select based on your knowledge of the application, you select some area and create a test cases based on that test script, not the cases. So you don't even have to document it as a test cases. So smoke test basically there's no document needed for that particular test, but you create a test suite or you just randomly go ahead select any other areas of application. But of course, if you do manually smoke testing, then you have to kind of document down at least what area that you have worked. You don't have to write a step-by-step test execution. So like,
So
how you write a test.
it must take like that measure functionality, yeah. Measure
No,
functionality things and
you,
non-functional things we need to check.
you,
So that's called
you
smoke testing.
not the major functionality. You can attack on a major functionality, yes, but there's no requirement. There is no requirement for it. So whichever the beneficial for testing,
Okay.
like when you test the application, whichever would give out the good like the overview of your deployment of a new code. So if you can capture, like for example, if I have something that going into database and pulling out of the database from that application, like for example, if you work on a inventory application, that application has a lot of data in a database. So anything that you enter from backend, I mean the front end, it goes pull out from the backend. So if you're modifying something in the database, right? So your modification is there, but what would be your smoke test? Basically, you would not pick something from the front end side. You would pick something that connected or pulling the data from the back end. So that area you're gonna say, okay, I'm gonna get this module of application. I'll automate those as a smoke test suite, or I'll manually test this area because there's a potentiality if I do that, whatever change was made, and they might just pull out some of the errors or may catch some of the errors. So based on your experience and needs, smoke test does not need any requirements, does not have any of the written document test cases and stuff like that.
Okay. Thank you. I got the idea. Thank you.
Sure, not a problem. But also, I'll recommend you to also look at those kind of testing if you are intending, or if you're thinking of saying that you have done it. So review over the documents that you have over and there's a lot of explanation, but get the very simple and short answer for it. Like so if you go in details, if somebody asks you in details, that you can kind of tell and pose it to them. Okay, Brother Khalil, do you have anything you want to share, or you want to ask anything?
I'm listening. I'm listening.
Okay, brother. Not a problem, but yeah, keep practicing, please. I mean, like it is important because more you talk, more you speak to the audience, and better you are. So you can organize your speech, and also you have clarity on your speech. So clarity is important. Whatever you say, make sure it's clear to the listener, and also the organizing your thoughts. It is important. So please practice, keep on practicing like anything you do, but focus on what you have learned, and as far as the asset engineer, what you have implemented, what you have done. So main focus would be on Selenium based other testing. Yes, if needed, if you have experience, you can tell them that yes, you do have experience, but also you need to know about the SDLC, STLC, and DLC, like basically software development lifecycle, software testing lifecycle, and then defect lifecycle. So those are the ones that if you know it, like how and when you can close it, so that those kind of things that you need to know, and also you should be able to perform if there's need for it. So you guys mostly gonna go for automation, and if there's need for the manual testing, you should be able to conduct or perform that task. Any questions?
Yes, other thing.
Sister Nazma, do you have any questions, sister, or do you want to talk or tell something?
No, I'm listening, brother, because I'm not 100% prepared yet. So
No. Sister, you can never be 100% prepared unless if you start. You have to start. So you can talk anything. You can just keep talking. If you do not talk, like I think that it is important that you talk. Like say about what you learned. So, okay, Sister Nazma, can you tell me about what you guys learned in the class then? That's for Selenium and Java. Can you tell me what you guys have learned?
in Java, I learned how to write down the code for the testing, and how to develop the framework.
Right.
And how to use the framework, how I create my project, and implement the project. And
so when you say creating the framework, how do you create the framework? What did you do to create framework?
Like I use the tools Eclipse or IntelliJ IDEA. Then I first create the project, then package. Then when I prepare the framework or work for the framework, I how to like add the, what they call it, like, give me a second, dependencies. Then I implement the automation script. I write down my script.
So when you use your framework, I mean, I am trying to understand that when you did the framework, like what is the framework and how did you implement it, and what is the benefit from the framework? You can tell me that when you learn it.
When we have the framework, it is easier to execute the script, and it is very.
Why do I need a framework? Why do you have to have a framework? Like what framework does? If you can tell me.
It's like automate your script.
Right, I understand automating. I'm now automating everything. I can write all code. Maybe I can write thousands of lines of code and it still will be automated. But why would I be using the framework? And what benefit would I get? What would you get using the framework?
Okay, you can save your time to execute, automate your test case. Is like when, how, because you add all dependencies there and all code there, browser there, just you write down the code for the execute. Then you can execute like without framework. If you automate something, you have to write down every single code again and again. When you have framework, you don't need to write down again and again.
Right. So framework basically saves. So you're just creating a class and an object. So those class and objects can be called anytime. So you don't have to write those again and again, right?
Yes.
So basically, when you class an object that you're saying, so you're utilizing basically page object model, right? So in order for you to utilize those over and over instead of writing them over, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So see how I said it, like, I know it, but I mean I'm trying to get it from you, because even though you did it in a class, but the thing when you say it, like, and you say it clearly, that's why I'm saying just quick, say about it and get the clarity out of it, like, because this thing you know it, you're not faking anything because you have learned in a class. So what you did is, like, when you create a framework, basically your explanation would be, when you utilize a framework, you're reducing your effort. Basically, like, you don't have to work hard, you're working smart. When you're utilizing a framework, you're working smart, because instead of writing 10 lines of code, I can write 2 lines of code and create a class and object, and I can call those class and objects when I needed to extend the other lines. So basically, I'm saving my time by creating the framework, and that is more robust instead of changing on 10 different places when it's for the maintenance that I need to change in one place, and I can get everything changed. So maintenance purpose is easy, development purpose is easy, it's saving time and working smart, not hard.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So this is how you say it. So please practice, keep on practicing, like, don't feel shy. I'm listening. If you listen, you're gonna be listening all your life, but never gonna be able to speak. You have to start speaking. Sister, when you learn walking, right, you have to take a first step, right?
Yes.
You fall down, you get up and walk again, right? We all did the same thing. So if we did not take our first step ever, that we'll be falling down, then we would never be walking, right? So yeah, you got to start. Don't feel shy, and that's why we're conducting these sessions, so you guys can overcome the shyness, overcome your the fearness of facing interviews. So you need to overcome that. So yeah, please keep on practicing, and definitely, hopefully, inshallah, with all effort, inshallah, that should be able to find something in that field.
Thank you, brother.
Brother Khalil, you have done a good job. And one thing, Brother Shajib, that I would like to mention when you talk, like, bring clarity on your speech, like how Brother Khalil was talking. If you listen to him, he was speaking slow pace, like he's not like completely very slow or pausing anywhere. He was steady and nicely that he said it. So Brother Shajib, also when you say it, like, I know that you know a lot of stuff, but you're trying to cover everything, but do it slowly, like with a slow pace, like not too fast, not too slow. So but you do have a lot. That's why I had a lot of returning questions to you, because what you said, it kind of made sense as a recruiter, as an interviewer. I see that you know a lot of stuff. So that's why I was just asking you again and again. But some of the points that everybody needs to understand and everybody needs to follow. When somebody asks you a question, if it's not clear to you, please ask them, can you please repeat the question again? So if you're, like, a lot of time, you might think something like, okay, this might be the answer, answer might be the wrong. So if you're not clear on your head, then ask them that, can you please repeat the question again? Then you think again and see what answer would be appropriate for that question. And this is very important.
So
And what? Yeah, go ahead.
mainly, actually, today I am taking class through Bluetooth. My Bluetooth when I charge is going down, that time is sound horrible. Also, Bluetooth is very cheaper price. So I am today taking class through Bluetooth. So that is the main problem.
Okay.
So when
No,
I
no,
take the
that's
class
fine.
from home,
That's fine, but that's fine, brother. My job is to criticize you. If I criticize you here, then you would not get criticized out there. So one thing that I wanted to do,
yeah.
you make all the mistakes here than outside. You know, when you're going for facing a real interview, I'd rather have you make mistakes here, do wrong here, so we can correct it together, right? And then
Sure,
we go
yeah.
out
Also,
there yes.
also, Baba, he also helped me a lot for improving my English pronunciations and other things. So my main problem is when I speak Bengali, also I speak so much faster. So same thing, when I speak slowly, when I speak slowly, I can't speak oil. So when I speak faster, that time I don't stuck anywhere. Same thing when I speak in Bengali, same thing I speak so much faster. That is my habitual habit. Yeah.
No. That is, I understand, because you're saying that, but the thing is, as I was mentioning, remember that when at the beginning of the class I was telling you, Brother Shajib, do not even try to communicate with the Bengali, because you are not going to be working with just the Bengali people. You're not going to be your team. So you're going to be working with a lot of different people, and the main thing is like you have to get through the interview and get into the door, right? After going in there, you can speak Chinese or whatever you want. But the thing is, you have to know, like, since we're living in the United States, we have to learn how to speak, like, at least convey our message. I may not be proper English, but as long as I can hit the point, what they're looking for, and we're not looking for a speaker to give a speech, right? As a recruiter, I'm looking for the person that knows. So whatever you're telling, make sure if it makes sense to me, and if I
Clear and understandable. Yeah,
right, exactly.
I got it. Yeah.
I'm not looking for you to write me a good speech or give a speech for me, right?
I know that. I know that mainly thing my pronunciation or his accent is very poor.
That is fine. That is absolutely fine. Not a problem. If you hear a lot of Indian developers and testers and architects, if you listen to them, you don't know you would not even know what they're talking. Yeah, I mean, a lot of them, I do have a hard time for myself that I don't know what they're talking about. They're smart. They know how to do the job.
Yeah.
Right? So, but they somehow they were able to manage to convey the message of what they know. So this is what you need to do. What you all need to do: convey your message to the interviewers or the recruiters that I am the person with the knowledge about these tools and technologies, and I am the person that a perfect fit for this position. This is what you have to focus, like, with clarity, bring the clarity, whatever you say, make it clear that they understand. Sentence don't have to be correct. Well, they're not going to look at your grammar. They're going to look at what you are saying is right, that you have done it.
Okay,
They're not going to look at your grammar, yeah. So, Brother Khalil, way he spoke today, very nice pace, and he did not shuttle or did not, pause, give a long pause. He was just very steady, and it was nice. But when I asked him question, he kind of misunderstood the question, or either he tried to think in his head how, what, and then he was telling something else. So maybe, he was like kind of lost on that, like he could not, for the question, yes. Of course, you will get lost when the question comes in. If you don't know the question, you try to cover up with something. But covering up with something is like a worse than, rather than saying it like, say, hey, look, at this moment, it's not coming in my head. Like, let me get back to you, and we can move on to the next question or next topic. Always you say that, because it's something that you try to cover up with something. If a person is a knowledgeable person in interview session, then they will know it right away. So if you know that, how would you know that the person knows if your meeting or interview lasts for 10 to 15 minutes or 20 minutes, no longer than that, then means you know that it didn't work or it didn't happen. And if it lasts a little longer, that means they're interested in you and they're looking something more details from you that they will probably most likely hire you. So when I went in interview, I lost my job in the project ended in Michigan and came over here. I drove over here for the interview, like a couple of interviews, and both of them, alhamdulillah, that I was selected, and both of them were for government agencies. But there was heavily asked about the automation tools, HP tools, and all that. It was like the government lead was the expert on the automation tools. Like she has all knowledge about it. And she was asking one after another question. I mean, I was like dried, my throat was dry, but I kept on going. She was asking me the water. I said, no, I'm fine, thank you. And I kept on answering and moving because my throat was dry by talking. So, yeah, the two interviews that I faced, and I drove from Michigan actually here and went back on the same day or next day. But both of them were accepted and both of them offered. So because the interview lasted longer. So if somebody like that on your interview session that knows about Selenium, or maybe it might be one of the Selenium expert interviewing you, that make sure whatever you're delivering, whatever you're saying, that it makes sense and it is clear and precise and to the topic. So I hope that will help you guys. Is there anything else that anybody would like to discuss or talk? And we're going to keep on practicing it. And also, we're going to come up with like our next sessions. Maybe we're going to start asking questions. Those are the questions and answers that I'm preparing for you guys. We're going to be looking at those questions and ask you those questions. And these are the question and answers most likely be at your interview. So if you don't know anything about it, they reach out to us and we'll try to help with that and try to maybe coach you on that if there's something that you do not know from this question and answer.
So tomorrow, who is going to take the class?
Tomorrow, I have to look at the schedule. It's Monday. Tomorrow's Monday, right? So let me, 1 second, let me look at the schedule quick. And brother, what happened to brother Mahbub and brother, other brother? What's his name?
Masood.
Masood and Mahbub, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, what happens then?
Maybe Saturday, Sunday, they are kind of busy because of Saturday and Sunday they work. They have to work.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes.
But
yes.
hopefully if they join the weekdays, so that will be helpful, like for them. We want to make sure.
Yeah, same thing. Same thing with me because Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Right now, I get new job. So Saturday, Sunday, Mondays, I am also kind of busy. But also, I try to come in the sessions. Actually, what is going on, I need to look up. So it will be give more idea for that. So and about the continue. Yeah. About the career, definitely I will join from the home. So because if I join from the home, that time also I make the note on the book so that is a good thing. So when I join from the mobile, so that is a really very bad thing because I don't make the note. So yeah, later on also I have to review all of the sessions for making some notes. Whatever I discuss with us.
Yeah, for the practices purposes, note is good for now. But the thing is, when you go to the interview, we're not going to have a note. So try to make a habit of make a note and don't look at the note and keep saying it and then go back and look at it again. And one thing that I would like to emphasize again, like as we said, record your speech and listen to yourself. That will give you more understanding of what level you are in. Okay, and as far as where do you need to correct. See that what you have said is it clear that somebody from the other side can understand it. If they can understand it from the other side, then yes, it is clear. If you listen to it and if you can understand, then somebody else could understand. So yeah, whatever you said, a lot of times that you're saying it, but you're not listening your stage, right? So you would not know that somebody else really understood what you have said. So I think it is Maghrib time, and I don't know if you guys want to continue after Maghrib, then I can come back, or if you guys want to drop and call it a day, it's up to you guys.
No problem. Today we can wrap up from here. No problem.
Okay.
So tomorrow
Okay.
we'll meet again.
Yeah.
No problem.
Tomorrow, I think Brother Shamsu is going to open up, and I'll try to also join. So I mean, we'll try because each one of us have a different angles and a different way of looking things, right? So because when you sit down with the different people, basically everybody has their different view and different questions and different angles to look at things, right? So that would be like much more beneficial for you guys to kind of prepare yourself in this kind of situation, right? So inshallah, I'll try. I'll also try to join, or if Brother Alam, whoever can, inshallah, we'll try to join, and so we can kind of point out things, little things here and there, and that will prepare you guys better. So, okay, inshallah.
Will we already get all of the question and answer? We'll prepare for that, so it will be. We'll get more practice. We need more practice. Yeah.
It is shared on your drive when you go home. Look at your drive and see what you see on there. If there's anything missing, Brother Alam shared it already with you all, and go through it and see.
Under bootcamp, yeah.
It should be on your folder. So whatever folder that he's been sharing the document with, that folder should be. So you should be finding on that folder.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mashallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Sure, not a problem. Wa alaikum assalam. Sister Nazma, are you okay, or do you want me to come back after prayer?
I'm okay, brother. Okay.
No problem. So how about Brother Khalil and Brother Azad? Do you guys want to continue and to come back after prayer, or should we just end it today? Okay, I guess they probably left or didn't hear me, but anyway, inshallah, so we'll just end our session for today. Inshallah, everybody, till then, have a good weekend, and inshallah, we'll meet again. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Alaikum assalam.